fix the missed tackles when it's next week?
Going to practice, when we start practicing tomorrow, just in terms of angles, closing the angles, get under control, wrapping up, basic fundamentals, and just practice it a lot. Just practice a lot. Because we'll have to deal with it this week with Detroit. A lot of skilled players who are dynamic. I think they might lead the league in run after contact, or yards after contact, yards after catch, whatever it is. So we got our work cut out.
The way football is kind of structured right now in terms of the practice, there isn't a lot of actual tackling in practices, if there is at all. So how do you kind of combat that you aren't really able to practice it the way it used to be practiced?
Well, all 32 teams are dealing with the same situation. So the point of us as coaches is to be able to adapt to the rules and adapt to what we got to get done during practice and the process in terms of how we do that. And the process, again, practice the drills we do, practice our angles when we get the team periods, and practice together as a team so that nobody's getting hurt. That's the main thing.
It's obvious that guys are where they need to be for the most part, and you put them in good places, and there's contact sometimes behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. What do you feel like the issue is in that regard of guys just being able to still break loose?
I got to do a better job just during the week and just getting the guys, in the right position to be able to get the guys down and then just keep going through the process of tackling. Just, again, it's something that you got to keep work. It's one of the core fundamentals of football, especially defensively. So you got to just keep working it every day and finding different ways to do it and just work the process.
We knew that Chicago was going to try to run the ball a lot. We talked about it last week. Were you surprised they were so successful running the ball?
No one's ever happy when the team's able to run the ball the way they did. And, looking at this week with Detroit, it's going to be the same thing in terms of they like to run the ball. They do a good job. Their head coach, just his persona and just his personality, you can tell he's rooted in the run game. And their success is rooted in the run game. So we got a challenge ahead of us right now, but never want anybody to run the ball successfully. That's tough for a defense.
When Diabo kind of stepped out, due to injury, Luke Masterson kind of stepped in kind of more into that role, and he's also got a lot of reps so far this season. What are some things that you've liked from him, just kind of being ready, and also the progression from year one to year two?
Luke, from the beginning when we met him last year, he's been working on his craft a ton. Whether it's in the classroom, out there on the field, he's always ready. The role that he has on special teams. I'm just pleased with the way he works, and how he tries to improve, and then tries to make the corrections to any mistakes that he makes, and he just does a good job of getting better each week and not being a repeat error guy. That's always a key thing.
Coach, we've asked you about Tyree's progress pretty much every week. He finally got a result, something in the stat sheet. I know that's not always the most important thing, but how important is it for young players to maybe just see something show up, just say, okay, look, that's validation of what I've been doing?
It's huge for all players. You do all this work throughout the off season. You build up to a point where you get 17 opportunities that are guaranteed to you, plus the 3 preseason games, and you want to see a reward from your hard work. So that it's important for all those guys, and just happy for Tyree to get the reward. Again, that's not the main thing. Obviously, he's set the edge for us in the run game. He's been able to provide pressure in the pass rush. He's dropped when we need him to drop. So, but in terms of answering your question, just the reward of all the hard work, it's important for all of them.
When you look back at the film, did you see the energy and the effort that you were looking for from the defensive side of things?
I think just in terms of just last week, again, starts with me first and foremost. I don't think I did a good job putting them in the right spots, and it just was a bad result for last week. And I know this, we're working hard right now upstairs in the classroom, the coaches. We're going to work hard when the players get back tomorrow in terms of trying to rectify the situation, and that's the main focus right now. Again, can't spend too much time on the week before. You got to learn from it, and then you got to move on, and we got another opportunity, and thankfully it's Monday night against the Detroit Lions and get a chance against a really good team, and it's going to be a big challenge.
Patrick, there was a play involving Marcus Peters you got talked about on the broadcast and on social media where, he kind of didn't go after making a tackle. It felt like the effort wasn't there. As a coach, where's maybe the accountability in that regard? And, and I'm sure it showed up on film and was probably talked about, but, to make sure that doesn't happen again.
There's several plays, again, whether it's, whoever it is that we want back. Whenever the result is what it was, 30-12, there are a lot of plays that everybody wants back. There's calls I want back. So to single out one person when the result like that, I'm not with that. That's just not me. we got it's a collective. There's 11 people playing defense, and we got to play with ball. We got to play with great effort each play. That's part of a good defense. We got to be able to tackle. We got to be able to stop the run and minimize the passing game. And I got to do a good job of putting those guys in the right spot. But that's not my program.
When you watch film, on the lines, what are some things about Jared Goff that kind of stick out that you kind of have to watch out for?
How he's manipulating the coverage. He's doing a good job of looking off. How he's delivering the ball. He's finding the guys in the right spot. He's able to reach different spots on the field, and you can see that, the growth. Again, it's year 8 for him, so I'm saying the growth from the last time I faced him was a long time ago. But just, you see the maturity as a quarterback. He's comfortable in the pocket. He's comfortable making checks at the line of scrimmage. He's comfortable saying, hey, let's take the profit. So that's when you see really the maturation process of a quarterback. And that's the beautiful thing of being in this thing for 15 years now. You get a chance to see guys grow, and he's doing a really good job, and he's found a nice spot for himself up there in Detroit.
Coach, for a bend but don't break defense such as yours, how important is it to get off the field on third down?
Third down is important for every defense. You're trying to minimize the amount of opportunities they have to score. You got to get off the field on third down. It's not unique to us. It's very important.
This might be very specific, but Jared's splits home and road are pretty wild in terms of he's at such a high level at home. The road he kind of struggles. Like, do you just watch home film in a case like that because that's where you're playing him and that's where he's comfortable?
No, that would not be the case. You gotta watch it all. You gotta watch all the games, get all the information you can, the data, collect the data, and then try to put forth the best game plan to stop it.
After a game like that on Sunday, are you kind of chomping at the bit to get back out there and get your guys back out there and show that that wasn't really what we're about?
I'm always chomping at the bit. I'm a football coach, competitive. So the result. Again, we got 17 opportunities, all this hard work each week. Each throughout the year for 17 opportunities. I'm always chomping at the bit. That's what I do. That's what we do. We coach football.
You guys all good?